Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Latina Mic Drop. We are on episode 48, and I have a special guest who is joining me on this episode of Latina Mic Drop. Hady Mendez is a New York-based best-selling author, Latina speaker, and ERG coach. She is the founder and CEO of Boldly Speaking LLC, a company that is transforming the professional experiences of underestimated professionals by providing them with the skills to rise and thrive in the corporate world or in whatever path they choose. She has awards and recognitions. She also recently has her book published, Calladita No More. So make sure you pick up her book. Today, we are here to talk about Bad Bunny and everything Bad Bunny that we could get out in about an hour. There's plenty more to talk about, so let us know in the comments. If you love this show, please share it with your friends, share it with your comadres, share it with other Bad Bunny fans, share it with your grandkids, share it with your grandma, share it with your titis. Let everybody know about this episode. Here we go. Welcome to episode 48. Fun allowed all the way. Fun allowed all the way. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Latina Mic Drop. Today is a special episode because we are talking Bad Bunny. And on top of that, I have a special guest, my very first ever Latina Mic Drop guest. I'm breaking my own rules, breaking my own agenda, because I was thinking, I don't know anybody who went to the concert that I can have a real conversation about Bad Bunny. And then I was like, what am I going to talk about this week? Right. So I've been doing this podcast 48 weeks straight, every single week.
Wow.
Every single week.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's amazing.
you. Thank you. And then I was thinking, oh, you know what? I have so many feelings and so many emotions about Bad Bunny. That's what I'm going to talk about this week.
Yes.
And so Hady, like Hady does, jumps right into my DMs and like, hey, let's chat about it. We were already texting each other over the weekend and saying like, hey, you know, you're so lucky you're going to the 30th show. And I had texted her about her show, and we were just chatting all weekend. Your book came out at the same time. You were celebrating your book launch.
Yeah,
so we've been in contact.
We actually, even when we bought the tickets, we were in a text thread for that too, because I was like, oh my God, we're in line, we're gonna get it, we're next. We were like number 500 million zillion one, and it was like 3 hours later we got our tickets.
Yeah, exactly. And that was all the way back in January of this year. The special guest is Hady Mendez, right? And hey, look at her. You see the smiles on her face. Like, we are just so excited to be here with you and chat about Bad Bunny. For those of you who can't see us, we have our cameras from Debí Tirar Más Fotos. We are ready. Mine is still going off because I just went.
I love that.
It's
That's
been in my cabinet. I gave my other one to my granddaughter because she was so excited about Bad Bunny as well. Yeah, so let's jump into it. What was your favorite moment, like let's say pre-show?
Before going to the concert?
Yeah.
What was my favorite moment of Bad Bunny?
Mm-hmm.
Well, can I back up and say that I wasn't a Bad Bunny fan until January 4th, 2025? Because maybe that was my favorite moment, becoming a Bad Bunny fan. I actually, like, I knew of him, obviously, because it's like, you gotta have been living under a rock if you never heard of him. And I probably, the only song that I officially knew was probably Titi Me Preguntó. So that's the only song I heard. And that's all I knew about Bad Bunny up until that point. And I was not like, I didn't like his energy, like the nose ring and I don't know. He didn't look like he wasn't my type, like in terms of my vibe. Like I didn't think that I was not in his target market. So I was like, nah, I'm not interested. And then his album came out, DTMF. everybody was talking about it. Everybody, the internet blew up and was like, "Oh my God, this thing!" And the one thing that I noticed, for context, I'm Puerto Rican. Like, I don't know if everybody knows that, but I'm Puerto Rican, New York. I'm part of the Diaspora, and so when they said, "Oh," and he included the Diaspora, I was like, "What? Wait, what? Like, what happened with the Diaspora?" So I was like, "I gotta like check this out." I heard the album and there were like a couple of salsas that I was like, okay, this is Baile Inolvidable. That was like, that's kind of fire, like Café con Ron. That was kind of cool. Like I liked the salsa ones. So the other ones I wasn't about, but I liked the salsa ones. And then like maybe like within, the next day, someone was like, oh, and you got to check out the short that he did because he did a documentary. He dropped a documentary with this. And that's when he caught my eye because I was like, wait, this guy is like political. This guy is talking about cultural displacement. He is, and even the canción Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, like the lyrics to that were like, this is deep. This is not just reggaeton, whatever, shake your booty kind of thing. This is a message, a powerful message. And that the little social justice warrior in me awoke and I was like, I love him. And then como que se puso lindo también at the same time. Like he got fine. And then que no se habla de ese Calvin Klein commercial, but we're going to get there.
Oh, girl, we're going to get there. Yeah, so that's so cool, right? So I've been a Bad Bunny fan for years, like pre-pandemic. So I'm a hardcore reggaeton fan. I am from the streets. I am in love with the reggaeton y el perreo. My kids are Puerto Rican, so they got a Puerto Rican daddy with green eyes and curly hair. And my wife, currently, the one that I left that jerk for and live with now, is a hot-ass woman. And she's like a modelo Puerto Rican.
I was going to say, you gotta think for Boricuas, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So I got a thing for Boricuas. So for those of you that don't know, I'm Mexican. I was born in Mexico. But I love Puerto Ricans. Like I don't know. I mean, I look at my babies and I'm like, they're just so cute. My babies are like precious moments to me.
Well, do you know that they said I'm hoping I remember the right person. I think Ricky Martin is like his face is supposed to be the most beautiful face in the world or something like that.
Yeah, he is. Oh my God. I mean, he's another one.
He's another fine one.
Yeah, and in 1999, right? They just showed right now, Ricky Martin came out on the award that weekend. I was in Puerto Rico. I remember watching, him singing that song in the concert, and he redid it again in Puerto Rico. Actually, they were re-showing it because he has a residency or something going on in Vegas.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's dope.
Yeah, but they were showing his video.
Kid, man.
Yeah, they were showing his video at T-Mobile, the T-Mobile spot that I went out in San Juan.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you know that they're gonna do a Bad Bunny party there on Saturday? So they're gonna stream it live there. So it's gonna be lit.
It's going to be so lit.
I know, everywhere. I saw that, and I was like, I wanna go.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God. And I miss Young Miko. Young Miko was there on Saturday. I don't know if you know her. She's another Puerto Rican artist. She's LGBTQ+. So
nice.
That's why I follow her.
Who was being the special guest on your night?
So for me, it was El Jíbaro, they called him. He sang Hawaii. The older generations that were in the room were like loving him. I really don't know who he was.
Okay.
And then Jacobo came, right?
Who's Jacobo? I know.
El señor, el viejito, el que.
Oh, Jacobo came. Okay, the guy from the video. He's from the short.
Yeah, from the video. The one that plays.
I think he's a famous actor.
Yeah, he came. He was the opening to the casita part.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and then that's about it. Then he had like Carmelo Anthony was there, the basketball player. Then Travis Scott was there. Who were your special guests for your show?
I had it was Bush League. I had some Bush League boxers that I never heard of in my life, like 3 of them, and I'm like, I don't know them. I never heard of them. Like nothing. And then there's a group, Winston and somebody.
Oh, we seen? No,
but it's 2 people.
We seen Yandel?
It was Yandel. Yandel was there. So did they break up? Because only one of them was there.
Yes.
Yeah, so Yandel was there.
They've been doing solo gigs for a long time.
Okay, so Yandel was there. I also, I clearly don't know the group. not familiar with their music. And I'll be honest with you, no shade on him, but like, como que no pegó. Like he came out, everybody was like, oh my God. And then after like maybe a song or two, people were like, can we get Bad Bunny again? Like, we're good now. Bye. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely was one of those people. I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. How long is this guy gonna be here?
Yeah, like you have to be a hardcore fan in order
Yeah.
to like really be there. I've seen him a couple times with Yandel, with We Seen together.
Okay.
So, but that was like when they were huge, big, and
Yeah, I heard they
50
were
Cent
really
came
big
out.
at one point.
They were
But
huge at one point, like huge mega stars. So yeah, and then right. So you've been a fan only for about a
8 months.
few months, not even a year.
8 months.
And
And I'm going to another concert. I already bought tickets for Madrid.
oh, did you? That is insane.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not going again. I need to take a break. I've gone to 4 different places this year, so I need to take a break.
But this is in June of next year, so I won't go. There's not this year. I gotta like, I just wrote a book, so I gotta do my book tour stuff, and then I gotta settle down a little bit and get some rest at leading into the holidays. But then next year, the concert is in June, and it's I'm gonna go right before my birthday next year, in June
Oh,
7th. I'm going.
nice. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great way to celebrate. And what made you want to buy it in Madrid out of all the places that he's going to?
Because I'm moving there.
What?
Yeah. So
Yeah, what's that about?
that's a different podcast.
Okay, okay.
we'll
We'll
stick
leave
we'll
that.
stick we'll stick to Bad Bunny for now, but yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna head over later this year, leading into the holidays. I got my Puerto Rican citizenship, you know that. And I would say Bad Bunny, listen, Bad Bunny gets credit for everything. I shouted him out in my book. He's in my acknowledgement section of the book because I feel like the lyric, that album, I listen to it every day. Every day, every day, every day. And those lyrics just made me feel so proud to be Puerto Rican. And my book, as you know, has uses refranes, and I'm really leaning into my identity. And I felt like he called me back in. I felt like he included me. He brought in the tent, and he was like, Puerto Ricans are not just people that are brought in born and raised in the island. There's so many other people that are Puerto Rican. And like, I never forget that when they had uh Nueva York. I think it was Nueva York, but I don't even remember if that was the song. Maybe it was somebody in Boston. It was like 4 people in Boston, and they were like dressed in winter. They were like in winter coats, and they were dancing. And I'm like, yeah, because that's us too. Like, we're not less Puerto Rican because we're raised here, or we're born here. Like, we're Puerto Rican too. We also ate the food. We did the sana sana, conita de rana. We had all the things, the same, good and bad of the culture was also ingrained in us. So I love that he brought us back into the culture. It felt really important for me, like, to get my Puerto Rican citizenship, like make it official. Like, I am Puerto Rican. And my grandfather, like in that song La Mudanza, when he talks about Esta la tierra de mi abuelo, is my grandfather. Both of my grandfathers were born in Puerto Rico, and both of my parents were too. So I'm Puerto Rican. And like, I felt in the concert, I felt like a Puerto Rican. And I think that's one cool thing that Bad Bunny has done for the culture, is that he has really made all of us feel very seen and celebrated. And that's a cool thing. I mean, I'm curious to know. So I would like to turn the tables and ask you. I know you have been part of the Puerto Rican culture for a long time, but like, how did you feel at the concert? Because it's such a source of pride, and he's Boricua, like you feel it in those moments. Like, you just want to cry of how proud you are to be Puerto Rican. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, so for me, and that's what I was thinking, right? Like when the song New York came out, right? Because even us, right? Like when I go to Mexico, oh, ¿de dónde eres? De Nueva
I'm like,
York,
what the
right?
fuck? I'm from here.
Yeah, I'm from New York. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from over there, right? You never say New Jersey because I live in New Jersey, but you always rep New York. And it was just so amazing, right? And that's actually what I've been diving into, that music. The reason why I listen to reggaeton, why I listen to all the Spanish music, is because I'm one of those Latinos that speaks English and Spanish. And I grew up country as hell. Like, I was my first, like
the first people learning how to speak English in the United States. My mom didn't speak it. My dad didn't. My grandparents didn't. They learned, they just have the little broken Spanish, and my
Yeah.
aunts and uncles were being raised here and we were getting raised here. Right. So for me, it's a way to stay close to my Latinidad. It's a way to stay close to my culture. It's a way to stay close to the fun. And the Puerto Rican culture has so much fun ingrained into it. Like, it's that energy and the pride. I mean,
Yeah.
those flags were freaking everywhere. Like, there is no place that did not have a flag represented, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere in Puerto Rico where I went, and all I remember is like my wife's mom, right? So she passed away 8 years ago at the early age of 51. And she's like the proudest Puerto Rican I have ever, like, every time you hang around Puerto Rican people, it's just like a party. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's just like, that's the energy, the pride that I love to be around, right?
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny is putting us on the map. And so for me, I like people that have deeper connections, deeper feelings, deeper emotions, like, who isn't afraid to show who the hell they are, right? Like, he was like, yo no te entiendo. I don't know what the fuck you said, right?
Yep.
At interviews, like, I speak Spanish. Like, you speak to me the way that I understand it, right?
Yep.
I'm who I am. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? And those videos went viral. And that's what I love about him, because even in the songs, he'll say in caro, right? That's one of my favorite songs. He says, oh, yo no hago las reglas, yo las reparo, right? He don't break them, he repairs the rules. And that's how I live my life, right? I live my life like, okay, yeah, these are the rules, but you know what? This is what needs to change for what's happening now, right? Like, to help us out.
In corporate talk, he's a disruptor.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so that is like, that resonates with me. Yo hago lo que me da la gana, right? I do whatever the hell I want too, right? You posted that on your LinkedIn,
Yeah.
right? Like, with the bag, with people telling you, why are you talking only to Latinas? Because yo hago lo que me da la gana,
Yeah,
you know?
that's who I want to talk to.
Exactly, right? And so me being Mexican and being able to be embraced, and this was the first time too, that my wife and I went to PR and her grandfather wasn't there. And it's the first time. He would always pick us up from the airport. So imagine, my first year going to Puerto Rico was 20 years ago, before my wife and I were ever a thing. We actually fell in love at that first time we went to PR.
Oh, wow.
And just her family was like, they actually acknowledged our relationship, right? And like, oh yeah, you're celebrating an anniversary, aren't you? It's like 19 years, right? And just be the acceptance is like such a big piece of why I'm able to be so happy now. And like Bad Bunny at the MTV Awards or whatever award show he did, he went crazy and just kissed a guy and kissed a girl. And it's almost like, like, who cares? Like, what the heck is the big deal? So he also speaks to my community. He's inclusive of us, right? And even yo perreo sola, right? He dressed like a woman, and he was talking to our community. Yo perreo solo played outside at the pre-show at the Casa de Perreo. And I went inside to that. So it was like a club and it was like a party, and they played that song in there. And then he also played it during the concert. Yeah. So he speaks to me too, right? So he speaks to my community. He speaks to who I am. He lets me be me. And I love that about him. And there's so many words in so many of his songs that resonate with me, that I too listen to Bad Bunny every single day. Like, there's not a day that I do not hear his songs. Like, if I could have a walkout song, it would be Caro from him. And
Nueva York for me.
Yeah, Nueva York. Oh my God, I love that. Every time I'm like on my train, like in the PATH train to New York, like I'm like, Nueva York, like, this is it. And that's how I feel as a Latina. Like, I feel proud to be a Latina. I feel proud that he is doing everything that he's doing. So let's talk about that. What do you feel about his impact, and what has he done for our culture besides those little things that we've talked about for us personally?
Yeah, well, I like what you talked about in terms of him being a disruptor, because I think he's a good role model. I had this conversation recently with another podcaster, and we talked extensively about he's a role model. He's someone that, he's not older than us. He's not, more experienced than us. He's not even in the same field we're in, but he's a role model for how to do business because he's very authentic. He's very entrenched in his values, like clear on his values. And he's like, I'm sticking to my values. You could take it or leave it, like it or not like it. This is how I'm going to be. So I feel like he's authentic. He's deeply rooted in his values, and he's very thoughtful and intentional, like making decisions around like, hey, I'm not going to do a concert in the United States. I don't really want ICE to like come after my audience. That's just not going to be a good experience for my fans. So I'm not going to do that. And, create a situation where people can be separated from families or just have a bad experience. Like, I think he was very intentional about that decision. I'm sure he didn't take it lightly. And by the same token, he calls people out. So he holds people accountable. And he's like, hey, you can't just come to Puerto Rico and act like it's your fucking island, because it's not. Like, this is our island. Our grandparents were born here. Like, you need to respect, and you need to come here and be additive, respect the people, and figure out how you can be here in a way that honors the people that are here already and the culture that already exists here. And I feel like, so he's, not afraid to say the things that need to be said. I mean, if you think about it, the work that we do, he's like goals, hashtag goals for everything. Like, everything he does is on point. And, he's a kind person. Like, you see videos of him with the kids, and like I saw a video of him like behind the scenes, like a fan was like, I got a tattoo of you. And he had like a painting in the jacket. And he was like, yo, mano, que bien. Like, yo, what's up? And he hugged him like 3 times, but like in that guy way where they're like, they fist pump and then they're like, bring it in. And that was like a moment for that guy that he, like an amazing moment, like an unforgettable moment, a once in a lifetime thing. And he's like that with his fans. Like, he's cool like that. He's just, he just seems like a very honorable person. And he's like friendly, like he's funny. He's in that Adam Sandler funny movie, even with Jimmy Fallon. Like the things that him and Jimmy Fallon have done together, like he's made me love Jimmy Fallon, because Jimmy Fallon is like one of us. It's like, yo, Jimmy Fallon will be invited to the asado because he's like definitely one of us. And he's like he has helped to bring out that from in other people that are not even part of the Latino community. So and he's done this all without speaking very much English or having any desire to do it, just being himself.
Right.
So look at all those things, not to mention the money he's brought to the island. I heard, now this is the chisme part, I heard that he was supposed to, like, his concert and like the whole thing, the residency was supposed to bring about $200 million to the island. 200 million, which is plenty of money. It ended up bringing over 700 million. So he brought almost $1 billion to the island in 30 shows.
Yeah.
Eso no fue by accident. That was not a mistake. He has him and his team, they think of everything. They're very thoughtful. Even our little, everything about that concert experience was like unique. It was not just like, oh, come in. It was like, get your camera, get ready, have fun. You're going to be a moment like, I have to ask you 2 questions. One is, what did you wear? I want to know what you wore to the concert. And I want to ask you, did you end up taking pictures during Debí Tirar Más Fotos? Because we did. Like, I went with my cousins and we were like, oh my God, let's take pictures. And we're like crying and all the things.
I wore a red dress, and we went to San Juan Mall. I went there because I went to Lala.
Oh, me too. I went to Lala too. I went to Lala too. What did you eat there?
So, and my wife wore her Puerto Rican hat. She bought a hat there at San Juan Mall. It was a New York with the Puerto Rican flag next to it.
Nice.
She wore the red. And then in Lala, I had the little cheese things, like churros, what you guys call them?
Churros.
Huh?
Sorullo de maíz.
Yeah, like that. Like similar to that.
De maíz. Okay.
That, And I had a freaking mezcal drink. It was so good. It was so good because I only drink like tequila and mezcal. What did
As
you
a
have?
Mexican should.
Yeah, I stick to the Mexican shit. I love mojitos though. Don't get me wrong. I love a good
Yeah.
mojito. What did you eat?
I had I ate chicken for the first time in a really long time. So I usually don't eat meat, but they didn't really have a lot of vegetarian options. And I'm also a gluten-free eater. So they had pasta, but for me, my gluten hurts my stomach more. So I just had the chicken with it wasn't mashed potatoes. It was mashed
Yes, yes.
something that's
That
a root
con
vegetable.
yes. It was
I don't know,
good. I had the chicken
cassava.
too. Yeah, we
Yeah, it
had the
was
chicken
nice. It was
too.
very tasty.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah, it
good.
was
I
very
had
tasty. Oh, so I have to tell you though, we did not know that that was Bad Bunny's thing when we went.
restaurant.
So
Yeah.
we just went because as a true New Yorker, well, I don't know if I am a true New Yorker, but as I am, let me take that back. I am definitely a true New Yorker, but I don't know if this thing is a true New Yorker like characteristic, but I don't like going to the beach. So I don't go to the beach when I go to
Mm.
Puerto Rico. So usually I just go to the mall, or like I like local spots type of thing, like local restaurants and things like that. So my cousin was there. So and she lives in Florida, but she was there for the concert because we all went together. So she took me to like every mall. So I went to like San Patricio, I went to Plaza, I went to mall, the Mall de San Juan. So that we were going to all the malls. And I actually ended up buying a pair of red Adidas that I wore to the concert at that mall. And then we already kind of knew that we're going around lunchtime, so we got to eat. And I like looked at all the spots, and I'm like, I ain't trying to eat no fast food here. I'm like, let's go to that Lala place. Sounds good. So we went and we ate and we left. And then like yada yada yada, we're talking to like our prima, our other family, and they're like, you went to Lala's? And we're like, yeah, like the food was really good. And they were like, that's Bad Bunny's restaurant. We're like, what? We didn't, it was by mistake. And we just walked in. Like, it was like, because they were like, that place, like a couple of weeks ago or whatever, no se podía entrar. Like, it was like lleno de gente. But when we
Mm.
went, we just walked in. They just, we were just like,
Yeah.
party too. And they
Yeah.
didn't even play his music or anything. So we had no idea that's where we were.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't play his music, which I was surprised about.
Yeah.
But I only knew because I've been, since I was the last person to go to the show. So, you see
checking it out. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was telling you like what things to do in Puerto Rico, like things to do in San Juan. And that even that in that sense, in the restaurant, he was very thoughtful. Right.
Yeah.
So with Bad Bunny, what I love about him is that he's so thoughtful in everything that he does. The book, the where the drinks were, it was like a whole book, and I don't know if you get to see it.
It was my cousin was going through the whole thing. She was just sitting there reading it as we were waiting for the food. She's like,
it was
okay,
so thoughtful.
and look at this.
Like, so thoughtful in the way that he educates people, and how he has people guessing, right? Like what's next, what's coming. And so what I love is how he uses his power of influence and his platform, right, not only to talk about the music. And what I love about him is the fact that he has such a big heart, right? Like when he was watching, he like the way that he sings and the way that he talks, you can tell, like you mentioned, that he's such a kind person, that he has such a good heart.
Yeah.
And then how he's like honoring his ancestors, right? Honoring his parents, right? In that song, Mudanza. Like he is just like so, oh my God, like everything he does is intentional with a bigger picture in mind, with all of us in mind, even, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about him. And he's so welcoming. He's so welcoming. Like I was watching him and he's like, hey, Travis Scott, come on to the front. And he gives, high five. And even though he knows people are there to see him, right? He gives them the hug.
Yeah.
He gives them the moment. Like he honors them. He honors people in their entirety, which is what I love about him.
Yeah.
And he like he's like, wow, and he even though he knows he's the shit, he also knows that he's humble, like in the way that
He
he
is humble.
expresses that, right?
He knows he doesn't forget where he comes from. Like that, Jenny from
Exactly.
the Block song, which is not really how Jennifer Lopez is, because I think she did forget she's from the Block. He does not forget he's from the Block. So I think he really sticks to his roots, even in the words and the lyrics that he uses. Like, he's the way he talks, like a lot of people make fun of him, the way he talks, and that he's cafre, and that he uses like palabra jíbara, or like palabra that could like make him sound uneducated, but it's like, but that's where he's from. That's where he came from. And I read this like little, it was a quote, but it was, a couple of sentences long. I actually shared this on LinkedIn a couple months ago, but it was like, nobody believed in him. He was working in that supermarket, bagging groceries. That's what he did before he became famous. Nobody believed in him. People were telling him, esa música no pega. That's not going to be stuff that people like. Your lyrics ain't it. Like, this does not have mass appeal. That's what the feedback he got. They're like, if you really want to be famous, you're going to have to change how you sound, the lyrics, the music, everything. You got to change everything about you if you want to be famous. And he didn't. He was like, no, I believe. And he says, this is what the quote says: when nobody believed in me, I had to believe in myself twice as much, hard, because nobody believed in me. But I believed that this was something that was going to resonate with people. And I had to just double down on it, essentially.
Yeah.
And so I think he's such a great model for like anybody in corporate who's like, or like entrepreneurs who are just trying to like believe in your brand, believe in yourself, advocate for yourself, be authentic, show up fully, like all the things that I write about in my book. I'm like, that's Bad Bunny. That's how he is.
Exactly.
And that's why he's a gazillionaire. Exactly. It has translated to success. This is not like, oh, that's cute. He's a billionaire.
Exactly. And that's the benefit of sticking to your guns, right? And having a calling so big that comes into you that you can only see it. You're the only person sometimes that can see that far, can see your future version of yourself. And you have to have that kind of attitude in order for you to say, like, yes, this is what's going to be true. You maybe these people can't see it, but I see it.
Yeah.
How he didn't allow that to stop him from becoming who he is, and him being able to just continue on to this magnitude, right? Like even him having that concert during the pandemic, right, where he was on the truck and he was in New York, right? Like that is just out of this world. Nobody was doing anything. And he said, you know what? I'm going to the streets and I'm taking it back. And him having that belief in himself is just like, and then him really taking his time through everything, through every phase is what I love, right? Because he will literally pause and he has to, right? You have to, like, when you speak two languages, you have to translate everything that people are saying and then translate it again in your brain so that you can speak. And so just him taking his time in doing all of that in all his interviews, because I watch almost every interview he does. And if he doesn't feel comfortable speaking English, he'll go back to Spanish. Was I supposed to speak English?
Oh, the Tiny Desk, the Tiny Desk concert. He's like, was this supposed to be in English? They're like, oh, a little too late there, buddy.
Hey, whatever. Over. That's the way it came out, right? And so that's what I love about him. The fact that he is so true to himself that he doesn't even pay attention to what the norms are.
Yeah, like, he's really inspirational that way.
Yeah, and I love that piece about him. And then the other part about what happened to me at the concert was the fact that outside of the concert, so I write in my book how I dedicated the book to the person that passed away, my boyfriend at 17, right? And I was outside of the concert and oh my God, like I got the chills on my right tattoo, on my arm tattoo, the same way when he bit my arm the last time we spoke. Right? Like the last, like it was like his goodbye talk to me. And I haven't felt that in so long, like so many years. And I was just like, oh my God, like, why do I feel like he's with me in this moment? Right. And I was getting emotional outside of the concert. Like the whole time I was emotional, the whole 2 weeks I was in Puerto Rico. I was like, it's just like, just thinking about how far I've come and how far we've made it as a culture, how intimidating we are, right? To people. Like people are intimidated by me and my job, and people are intimidated by our culture. And that's why all this backlash is happening. And that's why people want us out. And that's why people are trying to push us out of here. And we have so much power, right? And then just having that moment, and then a little while after, right, and this is what Bad Bunny does, right? This is what he's an expert at, and this is why the Debí Tirar Más Fotos was so powerful, I think, was the fact that life is so short. And there are times where you don't know how long people are going to be with you. You don't know how long you're going to be here, right? So it's like living life to the fullest
in the moment you're
every
in.
single day. Yeah. And then right after that, like throughout the whole trip, and we had the Mark Anthony song come up,
Vivir mi vida.
Vivir mi vida. Yeah, exactly.
La,
So
la,
that
la,
one,
la. Voy a
that song represents Carrie's mom, my wife's mom. And we had bought her the tickets to go see Mark Anthony, and unfortunately she passed right before. But she always was telling us, like, tienes que vivir la vida, tienes que vivir la vida, like el momento es now.
Sí.
And like,
Yeah.
she only had like 6 months. Like it went from like really she was fine to like 6 months and she was gone, right? And in those 6 months, oh my God, like she taught us so much. Like she lived with us every single moment. Like she was so, and that's what I loved about this album. And I love the fact that he brought us all together and he took us over there to Puerto Rico, and it was almost like I can relive, like so many different memories and so many good moments with people that I haven't, they're not here anymore. So you're just like in your feelings about it. And then
there was a couple of times when I was either cried or wanted to cry.
Yeah, exactly. Like what was the moments, if you want to share, like the emotional pieces for you?
One of the big ones was that little sapito. What's his name? Concho?
Sí. I don't know his name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Concho. I
Concho,
don't know.
Concho, sí, Concho.
Do you remember when he was like, there's like a little video of him looking out the window at the snow?
Yes.
And I feel like that was definitely a Diaspora moment, because it's like, that's our reality. That's the reality for a lot of Puerto Ricans, is that we're here. We're not there. We're not on the island, which gives us so much energy and vibes and sun. And like, it's a whole thing to be there. You just, so many people describe, like they get off the plane and they're like, you just breathe the air and you're a different person.
Paradise.
Yeah. And so, but our reality is that we're here in New York, in Chicago, Boston, wherever we are, where there's snow, we're here. And anyway, that moment of him, and I forget what that little sapito was saying, but he was like, oh, como yo extraño, que tanto extraño a mi Lita. I don't know. I don't remember what he said, but that shit made me cry, because I was like, yo, that's me. And that's what I'm saying about the diaspora really being included, because that's what that's about. It's about either people who left or people who were never born there, our parents left and we were born here. But like, we have this special place in our heart for the island, but our reality is that we built our life here. Not everybody has the luxury of going back, or not every, that's not the decision that everybody makes. And so that's Apito looking out the window at the snow and saying, I wish I was back. He said in Spanish, but like, that really touched me a lot. And then De aquí no me saca, boom, boom, like that one. That was the last song. I was like, that one had me in my feelings. Nueva York did too, because I was like, yeah, baby, that's me. Nueva York and Puerto Rico all together, mixed in one big bowl.
Yeah.
And that song was that's a very special song. That's officially my walk in and walk off song. Anybody who asks me at this point is like, that's the song. And yeah, I think it's just, feeling included. And I went with my cousins. I didn't go to the Puerto Rican only concert. I went to the first weekend when they opened it up to the outsiders, los extranjeros. So there were a couple white people in my concert, but mostly it was still a lot of Puerto Ricans. And I went with my cousins that live on the island. And I definitely felt Puerto Rican. Like I was like, yo soy de aquí, you know, like don't get it twisted. But I think it was the way he did it that made me feel like I could say that, you know, that I
Right.
didn't feel excluded. And I wore a red shirt with a white little ruffle skirt, and then I had my red sneakers on. And I had these pantallas, but I didn't wear them. These are my like I think
Oh
would
yeah,
be
la flor.
amapola earrings. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't, I got these after. Actually, no, I got these after. I didn't have these earrings. I had some other red earrings that I got there, but I got lots of earrings when I was there. I'm an earring person, and I recently cut my hair short. So I'm like, now I could wear them and people will see them because usually my hair is too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I felt I was dressed correctly. Oh, and the other thing I'll note, it's so funny, but in my concert, because it was people from like the outside, ended up being a lot of like New York Ricans for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
And there was about to be like a fight breaking out on the line. They're
Oh,
like, the
stop.
line is back there. I was like, girl, calm down. I'm literally just walking by. Like people were like ready to fight you because you wanted to cut them on the line. And I was like, that is not a Puerto Rican thing. That's a New York thing. People was ready to fight for. It's like I'm like, this is so funny. Like that you bring
That
us
happened to me
here.
too in the food line. In the food line, it was
Bro,
so
they're ready to kick
hilarious,
ass.
right? And in the bathroom line, and then we started talking. Where you from? Oh yeah, we're from Newark, New Jersey. Oh yeah,
you
we're
could
from
tell,
New
you could
York. We're
tell
from the
us.
Bronx.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
so
You
funny.
can
I was
tell the
like,
ones
why
that
are
are
you
from
guys
here
fighting
and the
here?
ones
Like,
from there, because the people over there they don't do that.
no, they don't at all. It
Yeah, they're
was
like whatever.
so, yeah, it was so funny. I was like, oh my God, there's so many New Yorkers and so many,
Yep.
and you know, my wife was giving it away with the New York on the hat. So then people were coming up to us and talking to us. But like the song you mentioned about No Me Voy de Aquí, right? Like
The
that when he
mudanza.
says that, yeah, when he says that, like that is exactly how I feel, right? Like so
But
what
about being in
people,
the United States.
yeah, like that's
Yes, I
exactly
agree.
how
I
I
agree that
feel.
that's a good
Yeah.
rallying cry for the moment.
Yes, it's like I don't give a shit. You know, like for me, right? It's so different because I'm an immigrant. I wasn't born in the United States. But the difference too is like even at work I feel like that, right? So I'm like, yo no me voy de aquí. Like I earned this thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
here. I
Yep.
earned it. Like I am not moving. And it's so crazy because nowadays you do start to feel that push, right? Like people kind of want to push you out, and it's not everybody, but it is a feeling that's happening, and we see it, right? We're watching it every single day on TV
Yes,
and everywhere in social media.
yeah, I think there's a lot of fear mongering, and
Yes.
like a lot of people do feel like either they are being silenced or that they should be silent. Like it's
Right.
probably better, safer for them to be silent right now. So
Yeah.
that rallying cry, even though it's not about being, you know, a Latino in the United States, I think is very like relatable, because it's like you can't, you know, we're from here too. Like you can't just kick us out. We're not gonna leave. I just saw this like Mexican truck in my neighborhood, and it's like he's got the flag and he's got stickers and he's like, don't worry, gringo, I got my green card, you know, like a lot of pride. And I'm like, yo, that's a brave mofo. Like that's a brave brother, because he's like, I don't
Yeah.
really care. Like he's calling attention to himself, and he's not afraid to do that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and you know, if he is someone who happens to have a green card or otherwise be here documented fashion, then he is in the position to do that. Like I
Right.
think that's one of the things that you and I, as people who are here, documented fashion, because we're either born here or we have papeles, so to speak, to be here. I think we're the ones that have to be a little bit more brave right now and more bold, because not everybody could do that. You can't be running down the street if you don't have papers to be like, y'all not kicking me out. Because actually, technically, I guess they
could.
can.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can.
they
They
can.
can. Yeah.
So then the
so
rest
the
of us
stakes,
have to open our
yeah,
mouths
the
and be
stakes
like, no,
for
you
me,
can't.
yeah, the stakes for me are very different than the stakes for you, right? Even for my
Exactly.
kids, it's different, because if they're saying they're going to take it away from them, right, it's different. So this is what I love about Bad Bunny, is that he's meeting the moment, right? As a
Yes.
person, as an artist, he's like speaking for us, right? And
Yeah.
so there's so many double meanings and so many different ways that we can translate what he's saying in just the human, in a human way.
And I think he's also put a spotlight on the politics of what's happening in Puerto
Right.
Rico. You know, the
Yes.
song Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, like
Mhm.
people love that song. The lyrics say, you know, the lyrics are all about how you can't just go to a place and you know, well, the lyrics are not that you can do this. The lyrics literally talk about what happened to Hawaii and
Mhm.
how their culture was stripped away by becoming, you know, a state in the union, and how we don't want that. Like
Mhm.
we're cautious about, you know, statehood versus independence versus Commonwealth status versus whatever, because we know what happened to Hawaii. We know that could happen to us, and we don't want that to happen to us. We have a very vibrant culture. It's a place where people come, they love the food, they love the music, they love the people. We want to maintain that, preserve that. That's what makes the island so special. So it's like a cautionary tale. It's like we already
Exactly.
saw what happened. We don't want that to happen to us. And the short that we talked about, the documentary, for those people who haven't seen it, that's worth a watch. It's like 15 minutes long, but it's the guy. So what's his name again? The guy, the old man,
Who, Jacobo? Yeah,
Jacobo.
Jacobo.
So Jacobo is this older Puerto Rican man who's lived in Puerto Rico his whole life, and it's his, like, he's going to the corner store, vamos a decir, the bodega, to go get like a coffee and a muffin, or a coffee and a quesito in this case. And it's like, what happens because of gentrification, because of cultural displacement?
Mhm.
He encounters like white people along the way, people playing rock music, like, no, like, and a lot of disrespect too. And then like he gets there and he can't order, like, what kind of milk do you want? What kind of, like, do you want like the vegan quesito? And like, no shade on any of that, because I actually am plant-based, so I
Mhm.
get down with all of that. But
Mhm.
the fact that he couldn't even just get his café con leche and his quesito in a normal fashion, like, and then he couldn't afford it, and then he couldn't pay for it because it was a cashless place. Like, it was like so many
So many
layered
layers.
things. But I think the net is that it's excluding the people that live on this island, that have lived on this island for generations, because we're
Exactly.
creating space for all the new people and accommodating their needs. And it's like, well, what about the needs of the people who've been here and who have been here for generations? Their needs are just as important, if not more important, because the island is theirs. You know,
Exactly.
so I think the short was also, it was very, I mean, like I said, that's what really got me to pay attention to Bad Bunny. After I saw that, I was like, yo, this brother is speaking to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and what he's doing is he's bringing a level of awareness,
Yeah.
right? So that people can get ready to say, hey, this is what we don't want, right? That, so the more, the momentum is in numbers. And so if you have it in numbers, then it's going to be much harder than if they just do it, you know, through the back door, right? Like a lot of things happen in politics through
Yep.
the back door,
Yep.
through the policies that they passed that we don't even know about, right? And then out of nowhere, it's like all this change happens. And so he's bringing that awareness and like, hey, people, like, let's wake up to what's really,
Wake
what the
up.
reality is and where we're headed. History shows us this is what has happened, right?
Yep.
And that's the reality of life. And that also, like, respecting our elders is like, that is ingrained in our culture. And other people sometimes don't see that part about how we respect our elders and how we
Yeah.
do things, and they still have to have that availability for everybody. So to end this podcast, because it's been such a
No.
great conversation, and listen, I feel like how I left the concert, like it wasn't done. I felt, even though I was at the 30th show, I was like, no, but this can't end. Like, I want more. I want more.
More Saturday night, baby.
Exactly. And I had heard about this, the 20th show, on September 20th. I had heard about it and was like, really? And I said, there has to be something big coming, because this doesn't feel like it's it. It didn't feel like it, right? So what are the last things that you felt after you went to the concert, or what final words do you have about Bad Bunny?
I would just say that he made me fall in love with him. We didn't talk about the Calvin Klein thing. He is a one fine brother. Listen,
God.
that Calvin Klein ad, when I'm sad, I play that ad and I'm like, it brings a smile to my face right away. And I cannot tell you the amount of times I played that ad. But he's just the full package. And I just want to give him his flowers, man. He's everything. He's all that in a bag of dipsy doodles. I love him. I respect him. I appreciate him. I think he's doing beautiful things for the island. And let me tell you, there were a lot of older generation that were not down with him. And now everybody is down with Bad Bunny. Everybody came to that concert. Viejitos with their canes, people in wheelchairs. It did not matter your state, like wherever you found yourself, generationally, culturally, anything wise, everybody came to that concert. Everybody loves Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is everybody's, like, he's, everybody loves him. And se deja querer.
Yeah,
He's
he
just
does.
beautiful.
He does. And he is one fine brother. Let me tell you, listen, I have my wife and everything, but if he gave me an opportunity in one night and my wife gave me a hall pass, that hall pass is happening. She knows it too. She goes, "You love this guy. What the heck is going on?" And I'm like, girl, he is so fine. He
sure is.
He's just
and
like
he's beautiful.
Yeah, inside
period.
and out. Inside and out, right? It's like because that's what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to a beautiful person. It doesn't like, to me, gender doesn't matter. And I'm just so, he's just so lovable. And he has such great impact and a big heart. And I'll tell you, when I went to Old San Juan, right, just to show like how the generations were coming together, a perfect moment was when I was in the Café con Ron place, where the guys are like, the bartenders don't even have a shirt. I didn't even know. I couldn't even see them. It was so packed. It was like a party at 12 noon, right? And so we were in Old San Juan, like 100 degrees out there, sweating bullets. It was insane. But we walk into this place and está a grandma with the grandbaby. Like the carriage and everything is in the place.
And they're very on brand for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, all the generations were there together at the same time. And that was like, oh my God, that's exactly what it is, right?
Yes.
Like, me and my granddaughter love Bad Bunny together, right? Like, we partied to his music, Tu Titi Me Preguntó, like that was our song. We couldn't even watch when the video came out, we couldn't watch it because certain parts, my daughter's like, don't watch that part. But we love the music, right? Yeah. So like there's just so much more to talk about him, because he is just, the conversation will continue.
Yep.
And I'm just so happy, Hady, that you reached out to me and that I broke my own rules, because like I said, exactly, we make our own rules. Hacemos lo que nos da la gana. And I love it. I'm so happy that I have you to have these perfect and happy conversations.
I know it is good to talk to somebody who was there, because for a long time I also haven't talked to somebody who was there. If you remember, we were in the Latina Latinas conference, and I was like, if anybody went to the conference, to the Bad Bunny concert, come talk to me after. Nobody came to me, and I was like, bendito, nobody. I'm like, I need to talk to somebody.
And it's such a moment that we were able to experience, and that just goes to show like our own intentionality too. Right, where we were texting each other back then in January and saying, hey, like, I registered, I did everything that I needed to do. Like, that just goes to show how lucky we are to have been able to experience that.
We were meant to be there.
Yeah, we were definitely meant to be there. Yeah, so thank you, Hady, for joining me on Latina Mic Drop. And we will see you on the next episode. Take care.
Peace.